Right now, on to the point. Tracking another winter storm in Northern California, the impacts it'll bring to our area.
It's been 2 days since that deadly avalanche, but other ski resorts are telling me that they're taking all the precautions to keep skiers safe. The details coming up.
The Supreme Court will review local homeless laws, the changes it could bring to those who camp out in public. Plus, a new law prohibiting how mugshots can be shared, how one agency has taken their own twist to the law. And later on the backroads, celebrating Christmas year-round at Santa Claus's amusement park.
Good evening. This is To the Point. I'm Alex Bell, and tonight we are tracking another round of storms moving into Northern California because in less than 4 hours, a winter storm warning will go into effect until Sunday morning. So meteorologist Carly Gomez is joining me tonight to time everything out so you know exactly what to expect. Carly, what areas are expecting the most snow and rain? Can you break that down?
Yeah, it's really above 6,000 feet. We're expecting the most snow to begin moving in, and then expect heavy rain throughout the valley. Most of your Saturday, I should say, starting in the morning hours, mid-morning-ish, into your afternoon, and then another hit into the evening. We are seeing that winter storm warning. That'll be in effect until 4 a.m. on Sunday. Winter weather advisory north of Truckee for those elevations up high, but this could be as low as about 3,500 feet. We could see some snowflakes. Right now, mostly cloudy skies, some sprinkles along the coastline, but we're also tracking here an avalanche watch. That'll be in effect until 7 a.m. for areas from Truckee all the way down through the high Sierra spots there, especially the back country is the big concern for very strong winds over 55+ miles per hour. And then wind advisories in effect from Yuba City north, as well as the valley is expecting very strong winds, and the strongest from Yuba City north. That could top about 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So big concerns tomorrow when it comes to visibility in the rain as well as the snowfall. Highs today in the mid to low 50s, 40s in the foothills, and 30s in the Sierra. Overnight, we're going to see a pretty constant temperature in the mid 40s as the cloud coverage rolls through. We get more of that rain moving into the early morning hours, and tomorrow a high around 49 degrees. We'll talk more about what to expect for the rest of the weekend ahead.
And this holiday weekend is known as one of the busiest ski weekends for resorts in the Sierra, but it's happening at a time when a backcountry avalanche watch is in effect, as Carly just mentioned, and days after a skier was killed by an avalanche. Roxana Leah says more tonight from Boreal Mountain Ski Resort as families work to stay safe.
The holiday weekend is a perfect opportunity for dozens of families to come out here and snowboard and ski. Some of them coming out here for the very first time. Meanwhile, Boreal Mountain Ski Resort says safety is at top of mind. Skiers are already hitting the slopes going into the busy weekend at Boreal Ski Resort in Soda Springs.
Getting together, family time.
Well, I've been doing it for like 3 years now, and I don't know, it's just freeing. Like, you're just on your own, and everyone's really nice and just like helpful. It's like a great community to be in.
That community was hit hard Wednesday when an avalanche at Palisades Tahoe left a 66-year-old man dead. Skiers say the tragedy has made them more alert.
Just be hyper aware. I mean, now is the safest time to come because it's more on everybody's minds, and you know, everybody's more vigilant right now, so it's a good time to come out, and it's beautiful.
Boreal Mountain Ski Resort also says safety is its top concern for visitors and for employees.
We make sure that we get out on that hill early in the morning. We've got some really great patrol teams here at Boreal that are able to go onto the hill first thing in the morning, test all the terrain, make sure that it's safe before we open it.
Boreal spokesperson says some days you'll even notice some lifts will not open up until later in the day.
We just lean on Ski California. They're a great partner with us here at Boreal, as well as all the other resorts around Tahoe. And they have this mountain safety guide. So if you go to skicalifornia.org, they've got mountain safety guide, and that walks you through literally everything safety, skiing and snowboarding.
As the ski resort stays alert, they're looking ahead to a packed weekend. Skiers also say they are keeping prepared in case anything happens.
We have our phones with us. We've got the ping. We've got the Live 360, so we can track each other's locations and stuff. So.
The ski resort says it does expect some snow over the weekend, so they're asking travelers who are coming out here to check the Caltrans website on any weather conditions, and they are asking you to be patient because it might take you a little bit longer to get here. Back to you in studio.
And don't forget, you can stay up to date on weather conditions wherever you are with the free ABC 10 app. All you have to do is just download it in your favorite app store and be sure to turn on your notifications. In other news tonight, the driver accused of hitting 5 children as they were crossing the street last year will not face charges. The El Dorado County District Attorney released its findings in a months-long investigation, and they say on May 31st, a group of children were crossing the Pony Express Trail when they were hit by a van. The 5 children were airlifted to the hospital and are recovering. The report released today concluded that although the driver may have been negligent, there is not enough evidence to prove his driving was a substantial risk to others and that he ignored the risk. Now to the homeless crisis tonight. The Supreme Court will weigh in on whether cities can legally ban or limit unhoused people from sleeping on the streets. And the case is originating from the Oregon city of Grants Pass, limited how much cities in western states could criminalize those who sleep on the streets when there aren't enough shelter spaces available. And elected officials, including Governor Gavin Newsom, urged the justices to take up the case because they say that the rulings complicate their efforts to clear tent encampments. But right now, it's unclear whether the case will be argued in the spring or in the fall. Coming up on To The Point, changes to how law enforcement can share mugshots, why you might not see them on social media anymore.
And we're tracking the next storm system, when it's expected to arrive, and when we could see the heaviest rain and snow in the forecast.
And we hit the back roads in San Bernardino County to see an amusement park where every day is Christmas.
See, my older brother needed a place to make a workshop here in California. So I said, bring it to the North Woods. We'd be happy to have you here.
All right, welcome back. As Carly mentioned, we have that winter storm warning going into effect, and people really do need to take this serious. We do have some weather coming in.
We do. Whiteout conditions can be expected in the Sierra as we start moving into the overnight hours. The winter storm warning in pink here, that begins at 10 p.m. lasting until 4 a.m. on Sunday. We'll still see some areas of scattered snow showers even up until lunchtime. So if you had plans to head back down the mountain, I'd say do that after lunch, or you can wait. MLK Day, that's on Monday, and maybe you're heading down on that day. Winter weather advisory up high north of Truckee. Now let's take a look at our Sierra storm impacts. That strong wind is going to create near whiteout conditions as well as avalanche concerns, especially in the backcountry. We could see 1 to 2 feet of snow expected, especially on those weak snow layers. So that is that big concern for avalanche, as we've been seeing those weak snow layers being tested day after day. And we've seen at least a couple of those avalanches being recorded and reported to a lot of the ski resorts. The wind advisory in effect near Yuba City North could see wind gusts up to about 45 miles per hour. Strong wind gusts for the Sierra, 55 plus miles per hour. And the peaks typically see 100 even to 150 mile per hour wind gusts. So very scary conditions up high in the peaks. Winds will begin for us into the afternoon hours and evening hours Saturday. You'll see about 15 mile per hour winds going all the way up to about 45 miles per hour north of Marysville. And then continuing into the evening hours, things will slow down for us though as we get into Sunday. Taking a look at the Futurecast radar, rain and snow begins moving into the early morning hours right around 6-7 a.m. or so as you see snow showers, then that heavy rain pushing into the foothill spots. One more surge of showers around 6:30 p.m. with snow showers as well. Looking at rain totals, potentially anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain may be expected, with as much as 1 inch of rain into the foothills. Now with our 10-day forecast, temperatures will be right around the mid to upper 50s this week, but by next weekend, we'll be looking at mid to low 60s.
All right, thanks, Carly. Next on To The Point, the new law limiting how mugshots can be posted on social media. We're breaking down the changes. Plus, a country singer testifies on Capitol Hill what he's urging lawmakers to do. Welcome back. Love it or hate it, social media has become an important part of all of our lives, and that includes law enforcement too. But at the start of this year, a new state law went into effect prohibiting agencies from posting most mugshots on social media. Our Jeannie Nguyen explains why and shares how one department is making the best of the new rules.
Established in 1850, mugshots have been historically an important part of the El Dorado County Sheriff's Office.
More than likely, there was a board of claim jumpers and that, so the mugshots, so that the community would be wary of those individuals.
Now in 2024, social media has become an important modern communication tool.
Social media has taken over in some sense of print media, even television, as a major source for for news to get handed down.
But up until the start of this year, the sheriff's office has made a change in how it posts mugshots on social media.
And we're in the process of going back through our social media accounts and removing those mugshots that were on there.
The reason for that change is this new law stemming from Assembly Member Dr. Corey Jackson's bill, AB 994.
If you are arrested for a nonviolent crime, then it is prohibited for law enforcement to put a booking photo on social media.
Jackson wants to make clear that just because you're accused of a crime does not mean you are guilty.
We want to make sure that we protect people because it's automatically assumed if law enforcement is putting your photo on there, you did something wrong.
The law also requires law enforcement to remove any previous mugshots from nonviolent crimes from social media, something many agencies have already started to do. The El Dorado County Sheriff's Office has taken their own version of posting mugshots.
Showing an arrest or them, a subject being who's being taken into custody, being put into the back of a patrol car or walking into our facility.
But Assemblymember Jackson wants to reiterate this is only a social media issue.
Nothing prohibits people, the law enforcement, for putting it on their own website.
For now, the Sheriff's Office promises to continue to do its job, all while being as transparent as possible.
We all make mistakes, actions have consequences, and we want to, though, still preserve everyone's public right or their own inherent right.
Now, this new law does still allow law enforcement to post mugshots on social media if the person is accused of a violent crime or if there is a threat to public safety. All right, now to Capitol Hill, where lawmakers held a hearing on stopping the flow of fentanyl yesterday. Country music star Jelly Roll, whose real name is Jason DeFord, urged lawmakers to take action, sharing his personal connection to the problem and struggles with addiction.
190 people a day overdose and die every single day in the United States of America. That is about a 737 plane. That's what about a 737 aircraft can carry.
He called on Congress to pass the Fend Off Fentanyl Act, which would hold financial sanctions against drug traffickers to disrupt the flow of opioids. Now, the bill has passed the Senate, but the House has yet to take it up yet. All right, we turn now for the race for the Republican nomination for the White House. In just days, Iowans will gather at the polling centers for the caucus, and they'll listen to representatives from the various campaigns trying to persuade the room to back their candidate. Then they will discuss with their friends and neighbors for hours before writing down their decisions on a blank sheet of paper. And this year, a winter storm is throwing a wrench in campaigns, but the secret ballot process is expected to, of course, go on. All right, for over a year, ABC 10 investigative reporter Andy Judson has been looking into a local charter school, and her reporting prompted the California Department of Education to take action and examine how the school is operating and how leadership is spending hundreds of millions of tax dollars, all before our investigation has aired. And Andy joins us right now.
Yeah, Alex, Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools is an adult charter school. And during our investigation, we've reviewed hundreds of records and spoken to over 30 current and former employees who say there's a great need for this education, but the school's leadership is capitalizing off these students.
This is not about education. It's not about students. It's not about serving the community. It's about money.
Extravaganza beyond all extravaganzas.
Did I know it was going to be expensive? Yes, I did.
That's the thing with Highlands. The mission and vision are like no other, but things that are happening are not right.
Projecting $170.2 million in revenue.
As taxpayers, we say education money is to educate.
And I was very concerned.
All employees' loyalty is due to the company.
The way they made you feel that they knew everybody and kind of controlled everything definitely made me fearful. How well these secrets have been kept should horrify people.
That's extravagant compared to other public schools.
It's prudent and shrewd.
All right, Andy, before we get into this, what is Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools exactly?
Yeah, Highlands is a school for adults. So to go there, there's just two qualifications. You have to be age 22 or over and not have a U.S. high school diploma. And the school is free for students because it is a public school, but it's an interesting setup because it's also a charter school. and charter schools have less regulations than traditional public schools. The goal is to have more flexibility so the education can be really tailored to the students that it serves.
And we just showed the trailer, but I want to ask you, can you give us a little bit more context about what this investigation is about?
Yeah, I just mentioned the oversight, and the oversight of the charter school is a big focus of our investigation, and that's because the school receives hundreds of millions of public school funds. So, it's important to point out those are paid by you, the taxpayer. So they said that the school's leadership, all these folks that we've talked to, are not properly overseeing the school. We've talked to over 30 current and former Highlands employees, and they say they're really profiting off of the students rather than giving them that quality education they need. But who's supposed to make sure the school is operating adequately, right? So we will take a look at local and state agencies and questionable oversight practices, and sources we spoke to said it's a toxic, hostile work environment, and we will give a voice to them. Dozens of current and former Highlands staff who have been afraid to come forward and speak out of concerns of retaliation, and that's until now.
All right, Andy, thank you so much. And don't forget, you can watch our 4-part investigation, The Wild West of Education. It'll be starting on Monday, January 15th at 10:30 p.m. And we'll be right back after this break. It's Friday, so you already know it's time to hit the back roads with Mr. John Bartell. And tonight he is taking us to San Bernardino County to visit Santa Claus's amusement park, where every day is Christmas. Take a look.
Once upon a time, Santa Claus was flying over his brother's house in Southern California, and he got the idea to build an amusement park where Christmas could be celebrated year-round. That spot was high above the San Bernardino Basin, along the rim of the World Highway.
I'm John. Nice to meet you, John. I'm King Kelwin. Kelwin Claus, that is.
Welcome to Sky Park at Santa's Village, a Christmas wonderland. And an epic mountain bike trail.
See, my older brother needed a place to make a workshop here in California. So I said, bring it to the North Woods. We'd be happy to have you here.
Santa's brother, King Kelwin, is just one of the many characters you'll find at Sky Park at Santa's Village. Take a trip down the zip line, and you may run into Uller, the reindeer caretaker.
It's a huge job. Every day I let them out of the barn and they fly immediately to the tops of the trees and they hang out there all day, and I spend my entire day trying to find them.
Are you ready for a puppet show?
Over at the pavilion, you may run into a friendly Yeti and hear about the North Pole's supply chain issues.
The bad news is that production has fallen way behind. Oh, no!
Santa's Village has a long history of keeping the Christmas spirit alive. In 1955, Santa himself commissioned land developer Glenn Holland to build the park on a 230-acre piece of land near Lake Arrowhead, which he opened just 6 weeks before Disneyland. The park was such a success that 2 other parks were opened, one near Santa Cruz and the other near Dundee, Illinois. But in the 1970s, the parks fell on hard times and were sold off. New owners tried to keep the San Bernardino Park open, but ultimately it closed in 1998.
During that time, it was just run down. I mean, people were vandalizing it. There were other owners who tried to revitalize it, but there was quite a bit to do here.
Then in 2014, Santa enlisted the help of new owners, Michelle and Bill Johnson, who rebuilt the Christmas theme park with some additions of their own.
The village is only on 15. The rest of the land is used for a mountain bike park, hiking, fishing, and we also have a campground RV park.
Yeah!
One of their newest rides is the B-Rail, a high-flying mountain bike that runs on the old monorail track. Back in the day, it used to be powered by electricity. Today, it's pedal power. The B-Rail was Bill's design, and he has a special connection to the park.
But I worked here as a kid. It was my first job. That's right, when I was 14 years old. I worked here for 2 years, and I was a ride breaker. So I operated the Ferris wheel, the merry-go-round, the monorail.
The park still has a lot of Christmas charm, but with the flair of active sports like axe throwing, archery, and ice skating.
Hi guys, come on in.
The one thing that hasn't changed, though, is the smiles that Santa Claus brings to all of his visitors, despite the sometimes long lines outside of his house.
What would you say is like the true meaning of Christmas?
The true meaning of Christmas is the love that you have for the children and the hearts of the children that come here.
From Sky Park at Santa's Village, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the backroads.
All right, you already know. Don't forget to text John a great road trip destination. You can always text to 916-321-3310. Sorry, we're all laughing about John sitting on Santa Claus's lap here. All right, before we go, I do want to mention To The Point we'll be back on Tuesday due to Monday Night Football. So that's why you won't see us on Monday, but we have a lot of great content for you, so make sure that you stay tuned. Have a great weekend. Be safe. We know that it's going to be raining and snowing, so just take your time. Take your time. Just take it easy and have a good weekend. Have a great night. I'll see you later. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.